What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Duran Duran, and we're returning for 3 bonus tunes included on the deluxe CD edition of Danse Macabre, originally released in October of last year, so 1 year later we get a deluxe edition. My understanding is the vinyl edition actually has even more bonus tracks, but for the time being I'm going to go through the 3 included on the new CD version. Big shout out to Adam for helping me do this by the time we get to Halloween. And the first tune I'm going to react to among the 3 additional tracks is Masque of the Pink Death. Obviously it bears a very similar title to the Edgar Allan Poe short story, The Masque of Red Death. Now, the hue has been changed a little bit, although still the same part of the color wheel, but yeah, for those who don't know the short story, it's essentially a gothic allegory about death, about how it's inevitable no matter how much you try to protect yourself from it or insulate yourself from the force that is biological nature. You will eventually fall prey to death. In the story, death is an actual character that walks through a number of different rooms and eventually kills the protagonist or causes the death of the protagonist. Prospero, I think his name is. But yeah, there's a lot of color in the story. There's, again, I think a lot of metaphor at play. Nevertheless, it seems perfectly suited to this album and its updated version, meaning the entire album is about ghostly apparitions and death-themed dancing and so on, and in that regard it seems to slot right in. Ultimately, if it does play off of the story specifically, I wouldn't be surprised. If it essentially takes the atmosphere and the mood of the story but then does its own thing or creates its own narrative, I wouldn't be surprised either. I'll see what I can catch on a first listen. This is Duran Duran. The track is Masque of the Pink Death, and it's on the updated 2024 edition of Danse Macabre, originally from 2023. Oof. Ghostly, it's haunting, but there's also this siren song allure to it. So instrumental then? like that a lot. Obviously, no vocals, no lyrics, or I shouldn't say no vocals. I do believe there were ghostly female vocals in the track, but no proper vocals and lyrics from Simon. So yeah, it feels like a very Nick Rhodes tune. It feels very atmospheric, as you might expect. As I said, it felt ghostly, like there may be things floating around in a way that is preternatural. It felt foreboding, as if death had an elegance, which I feel like changing red to pink, it maybe fits that feeling. The idea that it's alluring, even seductive, but you know it's dangerous and ultimately fatal. So I feel like that sentiment came across in the tune. But yeah, ultimately the vibe was one of danger and excitement at the same time. I do love, again, the ghostly vocals, which make it feel like if there's not death itself in the room, certainly the products or the spirits that are beyond physical existence and have already experienced death maybe are about and dancing around. Again, it feels like a perfect addition to an album that already exuded many of these themes. Didn't feel all that long. I want to say like 3 minutes or so. Let me just check. Yeah, a little bit more than 3 minutes. So definitely a sort of an interlude piece, like a track you would play between proper songs, meaning with, you know, full lyrics and Simon's vocals. But yeah, I enjoy the atmosphere and the mood, which seems to fit the Halloween undead rising to dance about and perhaps seduce living souls into their realm type of environment. So yeah, shout out to Nick and anyone else who had a hand in this. Again, I would imagine this is more his tune than a lot of the other guys. I don't think I heard any guitars notably. Obviously we didn't hear Simon on vocals, no lyrics to write, so I'm going to lay this mostly at Nick's feet. If I'm wrong about that, do let me know. As I said, there's 2 more to go through. Shout out to Adam, shout out to Luca, who wants to come in apparently. I will see you next time. Peace.